They say the heart never forgets its first home. And mine still lives somewhere on the third floor of a Soviet-style Khrushchevka in Tashkent. Peeling paint, rusted railings, neighbors' clothes dancing on the balcony lines. To someone else, it might have looked tired. But for me, it was sacred. Inside, our little flat had its own heartbeat. You felt it in the creaking wood under your feet, the scent of my grandmother's jasmine oil, and the glass cabinet filled with china no one was ever allowed to touch. We had a Stranka, proud wall of dark polished wood, where every glass, every photo, every clock told a story. Velvet cushions softened the seats. Lace curtains swayed like lullabies in the breeze, and in the corner stood an upright piano, dusty, out of tune, but somehow always humming with memory. My uncle would smoke in the kitchen with the window cracked, and my mother would shout, "You'll poison my daughter with that smoke." He'd roll his eyes and wink at me when she turned away. The hallway was always full of shoes, of bags, of guests who never knocked, of laughter that never needed permission. Tea was always brewing, no matter the hour, no matter the mood. The samovar never slept. I remember one winter, my grandmother wrapped me in a wool shawl and placed her hands over mine on the piano keys. "You don't need to be a genius," she whispered. "Just play it with your heart." Then one day, we left. London felt colder than the weather. Not just the temperature, but the way people didn't make eye contact on buses. The way we had to whisper in Uzbek at the supermarket. We lived in a smaller apartment, with less noise, less color, less of everything, except silence. I told my mother I missed the piano. She said, "We'll get another one." But we never did. Years passed. I grew up, learned a new language, wore new shoes, ate toast instead of naan, and then one day, I went back. Tashkent had changed. Wider roads, brighter signs. But when I stood in front of our old building, I swear I could still smell the neighbor's soup, still hear the creak of the third stair that always betrayed us after curfew. I climbed those stairs again. Now a visitor, now a stranger, and when the new owner opened the door, my breath caught in my throat. The velvet was gone. The Stranka had been replaced. The piano, no longer there. It was still an apartment. But it wasn't home. Because home had moved inside me. It was in the way I still stirred my tea 3 times before sipping. In the way I tapped piano keys on tables with my fingertips when I was nervous. In the way I still smelled jasmine when I missed my grandmother most. You see, you never really leave your first home. Even if the keys no longer fit. Even if strangers sleep in your old bed. Even if the paint has changed and the lace curtains are gone. You carry it. In your skin. In your sounds. In your silences. Somewhere, a child is learning piano in that same flat. And maybe that's the way it's supposed to be. But my home, my Tashkent home, it still lives. In me.